While the folks in Alabama wonder what happened, the rest of us are wondering what's gonna happen. Welcome into the Sporting News Studios, where we talk college football every single Tuesday. My name is Tom Vandervoort. You're looking at First and 10, brought to you each and every week by Allstate. Joining me, as always, our good friend Matt Hayes down in Florida. And Matt, you know, Alabama lost, and a lot of us want to say, oh, Kansas State, Oregon, right? But there's still a long way to go.
Yeah, 3 weeks is a lifetime in November football, Tom. I mean, you know, the old cliche is November or the games to remember. And I'm telling you right now, there's 3 weeks to go, and there's a lot that could happen. Anyone who thinks that Kansas State's just going to go into Baylor this weekend and have an easy time with that Baylor offense is crazy. Anyone who thinks Oregon's just going to roll through what they've got to go through this weekend with all those injuries, playing the most physical team in the Pac-12 in Stanford, they're crazy. There's a lot to happen right now. Even Notre Dame playing host to Wake Forest, Tom, that could be a dicey game. Especially, you look at Notre Dame last week, what happened with Boston College. They struggled in that game. And Boston College is an awful team. When November rolls around, Tom, everybody's tired, everybody's hurt, everybody's got injuries, and the pressure just magnifies week after week if you're part of that group that can play for it all. And these are big games, and a lot of crazy, wild, unpredictable things happen. You know, we'll go back again to 2007, West Virginia. All they need to do is win at home to a 4-7 Pitt team, and they lost. So anything could happen right now in November.
In fact, I'll ask you this. Do you think it's more likely that one of those teams is going to lose before we get to the end of things?
You know what? Tom, I'm a big believer in the BCS. I love the BCS. I am a proud member of the Flat Earth Society. I do not believe in the playoff. More times than not, the BCS gets it right, Tom, and it will eventually happen this year as well. Someone will lose. Maybe two someones will lose. And then there'll be a little controversy because then the best one-loss team will get there, be it Alabama or Georgia.
Yeah, there you go. Now, deja vu a little bit for me as I hear about Mike Leach out in Washington State being investigated now by the Pac-12 for abusing a player in some fashion. What can you tell us about that?
Well, first off, we're going to temper it here a little bit by saying allegedly. But no matter what, Tom, it cannot be good for Mike Leach. You got Marcus Wilson, who's an all-star, all-American candidate wide receiver. You know, heretofore before this season, considered this, you know, this stand-up guy on the team. Now he's allegedly complaining of abuse by the coaching staff, mental abuse, physical abuse. And again, no matter what happens here, whether he's proved right or wrong, it can only be a lose situation for Mike Leach right now, especially after what he just got through at Texas Tech and the once again alleged situation with Adam James as wide receiver there at Texas Tech. You know, I think if you get a situation where Washington State has 2 or 3 or 4 more players come forward and say, yeah, you know, this is true, this is what happened, you know, it's going to be very hard for Washington State to keep Mike Leach. If this is an isolated incident and none of those other players talk, and this is the only guy saying this could happen, you could probably see Washington State holding on to him. But again, you know, his reputation is going to take another hit no matter what.
What did you make of the athletic director's comments about you got to have a tough coach and tough players and tough?
You know, I mean, part of me likes it, and the other part of me says, you just jumped right in the boat with him, man. You better hope 2 or 3 or 4 other players don't come out and talk to the Pac-12 and say, hey, this guy's right, this is what happened, here's how it happened. Because if that happens, guess what? The athletic director, Bill Moose, he's gone too.
Yeah, there you go. Now, speaking of deja vu, we're talking about a new playoff system coming. Everyone's all excited, but to you, looks kind of like the old quote-unquote playoff system.
Meet the same boss, same as the old boss, Tom. I mean, it's so funny because everybody says, oh, it's this playoff, it's great now. Look at college football, we're in the 21st century. We've got our fun little playoff. It's the same thing with 1 more BCS bowl game and 2 more games added to the situation. And I know people will say, well, you got 4 teams now instead of 2. Well, take a look at the standings right now, Tom. Who are those 4 teams you're choosing? And I can tell you right now, when that committee gets in the room, or whatever they do, how they pick those teams, it's probably going to be a committee, most likely going to be a committee. I don't know how they're going to do it, but that's how they're going to do it. What 4 teams are you going to choose right now looking at that system? I'm telling you right now, if you start going at people's body of work and what they've done during the season, you're looking at number 6 sitting there, Florida, has a better resume than anyone in the field, and it's not even close. And Florida is probably playing worse than the top 15 teams in the country right now. They have no offense. So what do? You're going to tell Florida that for the first 2 months of the season, you played terrific, you built up this terrific resume, and now all of a sudden, you know what, the eye test doesn't like you so much, neither does the committee. You're out. Believe me, it's going to be a lot more crazy come 2014.
A lot more crazy come 2014, but Matt Hayes will be right there with us to do the crazy himself. All right, that's going to do it for First and 10 this week. Brought to you once again by Allstate. My name is Tom Vandervoort. Thanks again to Matt Hayes for joining us. We'll see you next time.